And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Chase Race number 6 of Season 6 of the NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series. Today we are here at our final road course stop of the season, one of my favorite road courses of all time. We are at Lime Rock here today, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready here to find out who is going to be able to conquer this very tricky road course. This road course has a little addition as to the normal road course. They have a bus stop over on the back side of the racetrack which has been added in. That's going to throw an extra curveball in for these drivers here today. And this track holds a lot of significance as far as the chase for the championship if you look back to last season. Last season, especially in the Oreo Truck Series, this was where Chris Dollerton actually ended up rolling the dice, played out some fuel strategy, ended up winning the race, and that many people assume is the jump start that helped Chris Dollerton finish consistently afterwards and take the Season 5 Oreo Truck Series Championship. Speaking of Chris Dollerton, he is starting on the pole position for today's race, and Dollerton, a 3-time winner, would love to become the first 4-time winner in a single season in NNSCRA history in the Oreo Truck Series, and he comes into this race 9th in the point standings, a total of 46 points back. So a win today really could be key into whether Chris Dollerton could be a back-to-back Oreo Truck Series champion. Alongside of him, a driver who went to victory lane last week, Ryan Acosta. He won back at Iowa last week in what was, I believe, only his 4th career Oreo Truck Series start in this season. He's looking for his 2nd straight win. Yes, he'll try and take the checkers here today. Then it's William Duncan lining up in the 3rd position. Alongside of him is Dougie Shears. James Silverfox, good qualifying run for him as he will start in 5th place. But let's see here, folks, who will take the checkers here today, because if history repeats itself, the winner of today's race, we could be looking at the future Season 6 Oreo Truck Series Champion. The points coming into this race are pretty doggone close. Dylan Poteet is still the current points leader over Eric Burton, who is a total of 12 points back. 15 points back, that's Trent Dunham. He's 3rd in the points. Dylan Young and Andy Timmons are actually tied 4th and 5th in the points, a total of 16 points back. I believe I'm looking at that right. Nope, I'm not. 18 points back. My apologies. They are 18 points back. Then you got Prudence Littlejohns. She is 6th in the points, a total of 19 points out of the top position. Austin LaPlante, he is 7th in the point standings. He is currently a total of 35 points back. And then the drivers that are scrambling to get themselves back into the title picture, Noah Hart 8th in points, Chris Dollerton 9th, James McCloud 10th, Jacob Lawler 11th, and Adam Chambers in 12th. Chambers, the furthest back right now, is a total of 58 points out of the top position. Anyway, though, it's time to get these cars rolling off as we're getting ready for the Quaker State 155 to be run here today. The command to fire the engines has been given, and we're going to get these 42 trucks rolling off. Can Chris Dollerton repeat history and pick up a win at Lime Rock for the 2nd straight season? Or will we see somebody else end up writing their name in the history books here today at Lime Rock? Here we go. Here's your starting lineup for today's race at Lime Rock, ready to go road course racing here in the NNSCRA. Track is full of twists and turns, rises and drops, and very tight corners where drivers will attempt to go double and sometimes even 3 wide. Not always the best of moves, but when a championship's on the line, sometimes you do things you normally might not do. As Chris Dollerton last year's winner, and Ryan Acosta, last week's winner. Get ready to put us under the green flag. There it is. We're underway for 20 laps here today at Lime Rock. Let's see just how patient these drivers are going to be here in the beginning stages. Dougie Shears almost got moved out to the 3 wide area in that corner, and that is a tight corner. John Radigan, Tyson Broad just messed up that corner. They went off the racetrack. So they're going to have to get out of the throttle, lose a ton of positions, and get themselves back on the racing surface. There is no grip out there in the grass. You can find absolutely no grip. Your tires start sliding. There was contact right there between Ryan Acosta and Chris Dollerton. Little tap in the right rear, and Acosta, I think, had to back out of the throttle. That's going to lose him a few spots as William Duncan now goes to his inside for second place. Chris Dollerton begins to drive away. Duncan into second, Acosta in third. Michaels now going underneath the Dougie Shears. That is for fourth place. Now Silver Fox looking for fifth as he's underneath the Dougie. And are we green flag racing still? It would appear so. No caution flag in the flagman's hands, and look at the run that Chris Dollerton has gotten. He is gone. Dollerton, this must be the exact same truck they brought last year to this racetrack, I would think. And he is running it really, really hard here in the early stages. Wants to open up the daylight between himself and what could be a possible battle for second shaping up. Duncan has it. Acosta trying to run him down. And I think the caution is waving. First time today the caution will wave. Yes, the lights are on. Let's try and find a good battle on the racetrack here coming to the checkers. Or not, oh, to the checkers. Wow, that was good set. To the caution flag. Adam Chambers back here. He's in a good tussle. He was battling with Noah Hart for just a moment. He actually just gave that spot to the 16. As they come down to the caution flag, William Dunk, or make that Chris Dollerton, I'm sure, was the last driver who wanted to see that yellow flag come out, as he was checking out in the rest of the field, but the caution flag will wave, and it looks like the caution could have come out for possibly the Charles Sanford machine. John Radigan's got a little bit of damage, and so too does Zach Rogers, but the yellow flag is out here. We're on lap number 3. Don't know if drivers are going to make pit stops or not, but we're not going to wait for them to come all the way around to find out, so maybe they'll make some pit stops while we show you the replay of what happened to bring out our first caution here at Lime Rock. Well, this actually didn't bring out the caution, but this was the first incident we had on the racetrack right here. Lyndon Wright and Mark Thomas going to make some contact heading into that first corner. Thomas going to turn Lyndon Wright around and harden the tire barrier. Goes the 77. Same for the 25. So those two end up getting together. Whoa, Charles Jackson's actually sideways here. Austin LaPlante and Tyson Broad making contact. That was a close call there. They almost wrecked. And then up here, Jacob Lawler, he's going to have some contact with Dylan Poteet, a couple of chasers there, but they bring it back onto the racetrack right in front of Sean Galligan, and somehow, some way, kept that going. And then we got to find Charles Sanford. Here he is. Let's see what happens to the 45. Mark Thomas had brought his car back onto the racetrack, and Radigan's going to kind of just shove him up into Zach Rogers. Thomas apparently did not appreciate that. Comes down in front of the John Radigan machine again. Zach Rogers apparently not knowing what's going on. He turns down to the 25. And we just had some tempers flare in there between Rogers, Radigan, and Thomas. And Charles Sanford, I don't think really got any damage out of this. I think he just was held up behind it, didn't want to take any part of it, and I don't blame him. But that is what put us under the yellow flag for the first time today. That contact there between Radigan, Rogers, and Mark Thomas. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Nobody came down pit road. Top 10s we get ready to go back to green are Dollerton, Duncan, Acosta, Silver Fox, Michaels, then Shears, McCloud, Russell, Deanna Shelton, and Noah Hart. That is the top 10 as we get ready to go back to green. Here on lap number 5 of 20, a total of 16 laps to go. Let's see if Chris Dollerton can get away from the field the same way as he did there when we took the green to start this thing. Green flag's out. Duncan, looks like he may be attempting to make a move on the high side there. I don't know if he was going to go for a crossover move or something, but when he went to the high side, Acosta went low, and now the battle is on for second once again. That again is good news for the Chris Dollerton machine. But William Duncan's keeping close tabs with the 83. Well, not anymore. Dollerton's gone. Dollerton gets the big run through that corner, and Dollerton opens up about 6-7 car lengths between himself and William Duncan. That battle for second continuing to rage on. James Silverfox starting to make his presence felt up here now. Up in the 4th position for the 4, and Joshua Michaels there as well. Let's find out where Dylan Poteet, after that contact with Jacob Lawler, where he's running, the points leader, right now back in the 22nd position. And he's in a hornet's nest back here. Just ahead, Kyle Thomas, Sean Galligan, Danny Wells all battling for position. Some dust kicked up off that final corner. And now Poteet goes to work on Sean Galligan. And up ahead of him is the driver that's trying to run him down for the points lead, Eric Burton. Burton has worked his way up now inside the top 20, currently in the 18th position. Three-time winner this season is Eric. And he comes in only 12 points back from Dylan Poteet, don't forget, as now he's battling side by side with Shawn Henley. I also noticed third in points, Trent Dunham's having a good run. There he is, now inside the top 10, as he was able to get around, I believe, Noah Hart for that position. And Trent's having a really good run right now. He only comes in 15 points back from Dylan Poteet for the points lead. And he's having a really solid run right now. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Trent Dunham actually has a road course win in his career in the Truck Series, and I'm trying to remember what the place was called. It seems familiar, but I can't pull in the name. Maybe it'll come to me. And we got the battle shaping up for the lead here between Chris Dollerton, William Duncan, and Ryan Acosta. Three-car battle for the top position here on lap 7. Chris Dollerton not really getting the benefit of getting away from the field like he did before, and I think the caution flag may be out. It is indeed. The caution flag is out once again. Obviously not any problems up at the front of the field. Must have been something near the rear of the field, and we will look back and take a look and see what that problem exactly was. As Dollerton continues to lead, William Duncan just about a car length behind. He's not let the 83 get away, but he hasn't really closed in on him yet either. As Dollerton's going to survive yet another run, he's going to lead under the caution. And there's Charles Sanford on the inside, and that car's pretty badly damaged. He was, I think, trying to get to pit road, and he was blocked because of that steel guardrail wall. And I think I also saw possibly the 20 of Bruce Littlejohn on the pit road as well. So the caution flag is out. Chris Dollerton leads yet again. Let's jump back, take a look at a replay of what happened. Well, here's a look at what happened. We're watching the 39 of Cody Lamas, and this was back near the rear of the field, really, because Cody had crossed the line back in 37th place the lap before. And you can see there, I think this is like the very end of the field, and I'm not exactly sure where the initial contact is going to come from. Brian James is going to go extremely wide through that corner. And then he comes down, bounces off the 39 of Cody Lamas. Lamas apparently did not take kindly to that. Oh no, it was the 33 of Zach Rogers up ahead. And Cody hits him. Sanford's into the back of him. Brian James spins. DeMarco gets a piece of it. And I think Prudence Littlejohn is behind this. Yes, she is. She gets spun around as well. 6th in the points. Charles Jackson held up behind it, as well as John Radigan. So that is the reason the caution comes out here. And, DeMarco's getting turned around further up again by Charles Jackson. But that is the reason for the caution coming out. Apparently, Zach Rogers got turned by somebody. And all these other drivers from about 35th on back got involved. And that puts us under the yellow flag. So it was a wreck near the rear of the field. And there's a car up there that's smoking. Not sure whose car that may be. Oh, that's the Cody Lamas machine. His day must be done. You can just see the smoke erupting there. I don't know if there's not a fire under that car or something, but caution flag is out. Prudence Littlejohn, a chaser, involved in this one. We'll see if she'll be able to rebound or something, because this is obviously a tough break for her. She's up there in the point standing. She's only a total of 19 points back, and this was not what she needed to have happen here early on at Lime Rock here today. Let's head back now for the restart here at Lime Rock Raceway. Pit stops taking place here on lap 9 of 20, and it looks like all the leaders are coming in. So let's see what the strategy is going to be here for the 83 of Chris Dollerton. Dougie Shear's having trouble getting into his pit stall there, had to maneuver his way around Joshua Michaels. Is it going to be a 4-tire stop? Yes, it is. So apparently grip out there is very necessary for these drivers, all of them going with the fresh rubber near the halfway point. Chambers is gone, but nobody is going to get out ahead of Chris Dollerton. Lightning fast pit stop for him. Duncan comes out second, Silver Fox in third, and fourth, Joshua Michaels. So And there's a car that has stayed out. That's John Radigan, but I think he may actually be off the lead lap. I'm not sure. Him and DeMarco, because we saw them both get involved in that incident that just has put us under this caution flag. So we're under the yellow. Is the lights out atop the pace car? We may end up... Oh, wait. Some drivers did roll the dice and stay out, and the caution lights are off. So we are going to go back to green flag racing. So some drivers did stay out. Kyle Corbett is going to be the leader now. Trek Togger in second. The points leader, Poteet, is up to third. Fourth will be Danny Wells. Fifth, Tyson Broad. Sixth, Dylan Young. And Brian James will be in seventh. Prudence Littlejohn is going to be off the lead lap. She's back in 38th. Alex DeMarco, I believe, is now up to 9th place with John Radigan in 10th. Those drivers did not pit. And then you got Chris Dollerton. He'll restart in 11th position. And unfortunately, since the scoring monitor is not updated, I don't really know where everybody else is running. I would assume McCloud is back in 15th for this restart. Trent Dunham 16th, 17th, Adam Chambers. Somewhere around 22nd, I believe, is where Andy Timmons will start. 23rd, Noah Hart. Eric Burton back somewhere around 25th or 26th. Austin LaPlante back here, I'd say he's somewhere just inside the top 30, maybe just outside the top 30, one or the other. And then there's Jacob Lawler behind him. So the caution flag is going to turn to the green flag just as quick as that. And we will go to green flag racing. So Chris Dollerton and company are going to be starting back from about 11th on back because of top 10 drivers for this restart staying out. And Kyle Corbett, for the first time today, is going to be the leader. As here we go. Green flag's ready to come back out here on lap 10 of 20. We have reached the halfway point, and there is the green flag. Now these drivers, these top 10 drivers, have not been to victory lane, so the question is how far can they go before they are going to have to come down pit road? They're willing to give up track to gain track position in order to not come down and get the fresh rubber, and there's Chris Dollerton back there going to work already with his fresh rubber, trying to pick up some spots. He's trying to get underneath of John Radigan, then he'll go to work on Alex DeMarco. William Duncan following him through there. And I thought I just saw... Nope. I thought the caution lights were on, but apparently not. There's Prudence Littlejohn. She is a lap down in the 38th position. That is one position we actually knew about. And that's a tough break for her. She's got to try and hope that maybe something's going to happen here so she can pick up some spots. Maybe with wrecks happening or something, but right now she is in a lot of trouble as far as trying to keep herself in contention for the championship as Corbett continues to lead. Good battle back here. Dylan Young going underneath of Tyson Broad. That would be a battle for, I believe, the 5th position. My apologies. Dylan Young currently 4th in the point standings and having an excellent run here today. But keep in mind, he and Dylan Poteet, the points leader and the guy who's currently running 3rd right now, still have to come to pit road. Now, I did not look back and see if any drivers did pit under that first caution flag. Quite possibly these drivers may have actually pitted at that time. But I am not exactly certain, so I do not know if these drivers have been to pit road at all this race event. Right now, though, Poteet running very well. Trek Togger, a couple of weeks after picking up his first career Truck Series victory back at New Hampshire, he's having a great run here today, up in the 2nd position. And Trek Togger, very well known for his off-road racing, for his road course racing. This fits right into his repertoire, as we got a good battle shaping up here for 3rd. Danny Wells has been able to get to the inside of Dylan Poteet as they'll race side by side. Danny Wells, a 2-time winner this season, looking to become a 3-time winner here with a win at Lime Rock. And he will now clear, it looks like, he will clear the Dollar General Silverado of Dylan Poteet. Well, maybe not just yet. Now he clears him. Poteet goes a little wider in that corner, and now that's going to close Dylan Young up to the back bumper of Dylan Poteet. Meanwhile, Chris Dollerton doing a pretty good job of slicing and dicing his way through traffic. He's now worked his way from 11th up to 7th place, picked up 4 spots. Now starting to close in on Tyson Broad for 6th place. And here he comes down to the inside line. You can see the fresh rubber there on the front straightaway, especially. The grip he got, the speed he carried down there into the front, into that turn. That was a lot of momentum he carried there. Brian James completing another pit stop. You know, Brian James got spun out there under that last caution flag, apparently repairing some damage on his number 15. As Corbett continues to lead the way. Kyle Corbett, tell you what, he's having a great run here today, and if I remember correctly, Kyle Corbett, I think, ended up making his debut in the Mobile One Cup Series back at Watkins Glen. I may be incorrect in that, but I think that's where he made his debut in the Mobile One Cup Series, so he has some road course experience under his belt, because I remember him actually finishing very well in his debut race in the Mobile One Cup Series. So he's showing it off here in the final road course race of the season, as there are going to be a total now of 7 laps to go. The laps are ticking down, and we are still clean and green. After working 2 caution flags, one for a spin about midway through the pack, and then the second one for a spin at the rear of the field, we have continued to run under the green flag, and that's got to be a problem here for these drivers, unless they did come down and pit under that first caution. As Dylan Young now is going to pick up a spot. He's going to go by fellow chaser Dylan Poteet and take the 4th position. Chris Dollerton was able to make the pass on Prudence Littlejohn as well as Tyson Broad. He's now up to the 6th position. He and all the rest of the drivers, with the exception of 10, ended up coming down pit road, I believe it was on lap number 7. And up there they go, Dylan Poteet, Dylan Young, Danny Wells, Kyle Corbett, and Trek Togger. They're coming down pit road now. The lead will cycle over to Chris Dollerton. So it looks like those drivers could only make it a total of 15 laps before they had to come down pit road. So Chris Dollerton inherits the lead once again, with green flag pit stops going on. So I think maybe Dylan Young, Dylan Poteet, Kyle Corbett, Trek Togger, they may have been relying on a quick caution coming out or something. Well, actually, just when they hit pit road, now the caution flag is out. The caution for the 3rd time today. And Dollerton is going to clear Brian James, who almost just ran into Joshua Michaels, the 2nd place driver. But the caution flag is out for the 3rd time today here at Lime Rock, and this taking place here just when some drivers are making pit stops. That could be a big break for them. They'll be able to cycle back around to the tail end of the longest line, as there you see the yellow flag in the flagman's hands, and Chris Dollerton out in front yet again here today at Lime Rock. And this caution, these are the guys that pitted. Looks like it could have possibly been for Kyle Thomas. Maybe Sean Galligan. Oh, wait, no, Eric Burton's got some damage. I think the 8 may have been the reason that the caution came out. 2nd in points, Eric Burton. I don't know exactly. It's very difficult at road courses, especially, to know who the caution really came out for. Oh, I think we found out. Bob Jones, Shawn Henley, both sitting on pit road. So the caution flag waving for an incident involving the 88 and the 11, apparently. Let's jump back, take a look at a replay, as we have a total of 5 laps to go now here at Lime Rock. Pretty hard racing back here, and this was somewhere just inside the top 10, I do believe. And the contact, I don't know if Shawn Henley's going to get a shove from Trent Dunham heading into this corner, or if he just overdrove it. Whatever the case, he comes up into the Bob Jones machine, and Jones can't get off of him, and there they go, up into that tire barrier, shades of what we saw our first caution come out for. And hard into the wall goes both Shawn Henley and Bob Jones. Henley, who's just been having dismal luck in the past few weeks, same for Bob Jones. They both come in 25th and 28th in points. And that's a tough break for both of them, who are both running up inside the top 10 at the time that they both wrecked. So that's the reason the caution comes out. Let's head back now to green. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Green flag will come back out on lap 18 of 20. Give us a total of 3 laps to go here at Lime Rock. Chris Dollerton, our winner last year, looking like he may be able to go 2 years in a row with a win here at Lime Rock. He has pretty much dominated this race, with the exception of the time those drivers used the pit strategy, but things have cycled around back, putting him in the top position. Joshua Michaels right behind him. Michaels been having a great run. He and Chris Dollerton did a good job of slicing and dicing their way through the field under that last green flag run. He'll restart in 2nd. Then you got a few lap cars before you get back to 3rd place James McCloud, 4th place Ryan Acosta, 5th place William Duncan. Trent Dunham is in 6th, Silver Fox 7th, Max Russell is in 8th, 9th is Noah Hart, and 10th place is Adam Chambers. Let's find the rest of our chasers as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Jacob Lawler is now up to the 13th position. Austin LaPlante runs in 15th. Andy Timmons is in 17th place. Eric Burton right now in 21st. As we jump further back here, these drivers end up having to pit under that caution, or not under the caution flag, but under the green flag. Dylan Young back in 30th. Dylan Poteet, the points leader, back in 31st place. And that's it for the drivers that are on the racetrack. There are some drivers behind the wall, and they include Mark Thomas, Charles Sanford, Zach Rogers, Cody Lamas, and Lyndon Wright. Pace car on pit road. We're ready to go back to green. Can Chris Dollerton hang on and pick up his second straight win in 2 years at Lime Rock and his 4th win of the season? He pulls away. Joshua Michaels, Prunes Littlejohn battling for second place. That's going to help Chris Dollerton to open up a little bit of daylight between himself and the leaders. Prunes Littlejohn now becomes the barrier for Chris Dollerton, and Brian James still battling hard there with with Joshua Michaels. That could be another lap car that could be between Chris Dollerton and a second place driver. And Brian James has cleared Michaels. Michaels has got his hands full. Actually, he's just lost a ton of spots. Michaels has slipped way back. He's all the way back about to the 7th position now as James McCloud has now moved into 2nd place. 3rd place now Dunham. 4th Acosta, and Duncan now up to 5th. And oh, wait a minute, Chris Dollerton is pitting! Chris Dollerton is having to pit, and that just turned the lead over to James McCloud. So now the leaders apparently are having problems making it on fuel. Either they didn't get the 83 completely full of fuel, or else all these leaders are going to be on fumes when they finish this race if they try to stretch it. We're looking at the current leader, James McCloud. Trent Dunham starting to close the gap up right there. Ryan Acosta right in the mix, as well as William Duncan. I think Noah Hart just moved himself up to the 5th position. I think Max Russell may have just come down pit road. Joshua Michaels, I think, came down pit road. So some drivers not able to make it. And Chris Dollerton, his chances of maybe going 2 years in a row for wins here at Lime Rock may have just ended right there. Remember, he ended up winning the Lime Rock race back in Season 5 on fuel strategy. As James McCloud makes no indication for pit road, white flag is in the air, and look at the run Trent Dunham gets. Here comes Trent to the inside. He's not going to be able to make the move this time. Here he comes, trying to give the shove, the bump and run into this first corner, and he's going to get to the inside of James McCloud. Here comes Trent. Trent Dunham looking for his first Truck Series win of the season. James McCloud looking for his 4th. That would put him as the all-time leader for most wins in a single season in the Truck Series. Right now, he, Sean Galligan, Chris Dollerton, and Michael Harvey are atop the leaderboard with 3 wins in a season apiece. And James McCloud has cleared Dunham. Dunham now back about a car length and a half, as James McCloud, who hasn't been to victory lane for probably about 20 races, I would say. He went on a 3 races in a row winning streak. His last win, I think, may have come at Thornton. That was a road course. He'll win his 4th race at the road course. James McCloud is going to write his name in the history books once again. He picks up the win here in the Quaker State, 155 at Lime Rock, and he has picked up his 4th, you heard right, his 4th Truck Series win of the season. The only driver, the first driver, to hit 4 wins in a single season mark in NNSCRA history in this series, the Oreo Truck Series. James McCloud stretches the fuel and picks up the win here today. His chase did not start out exactly that great. He comes into today's race 10th in chase standings. But with this win today, we could, as they say in auction talk, have a new hound in the race. Wow. And keep in mind, folks, Chris Dollerton, back in Season 5, picked up the win here at Lime Rock, which many say jump-started him to ending up becoming Season 5 Oreo Truck Series Champion. Could we be looking at our Season 6 Oreo Truck Series Champion with James McCloud? What a great run for him. Let's take a look at our official top 10, as some drivers did have to pit there even on the final lap coming to the checkered flag. James McCloud with the win. How about Trent Dunham? What a great run for the guy who comes in 3rd in the point standings. A terrific run for him in 2nd place. Ryan Acosta is going to get 3rd. A great follow-up run for him after he picked up the win last week at Iowa. Then you've got William Duncan. He was able to get 4th. Noah Hart, great run for him in 5th. Hart comes in 8th in the point standings. We could see him up battling for the title pretty soon if he continues to finish like this. James Silverfox, he'll get a solid run of 6th place. 7th was Jacob Lawler. He's a driver who really needed a good run today as well. Came in 11th in points. He gets a top 10 in 7th. 8th place going to be Nick Bellardo with Pichu London in 9th. And Eric Burton, 2nd in points. He is going to finish the day out in the 10th position. And we know he did have some damage to that Budweiser Silverado. Let's take a look at the rest of the finishing results. Dylan Young. They had to come down pit road, him and Dylan Poteet, under the green flag. That caution came out the right time for them, and they were able to stay out till the end. They finished 11th and 12th place, so good run for them. Looks like all the drivers came in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the points all leave with spots inside the top 12. So the points are going to still be close up there at the front of the field. Then you look for more chasers here. Let's see where the rest of our chasers actually did finish this race. Chris Dollerton, after having to pit, he's going to have to come away with a 21st place finish. Not the run he was obviously looking for today, as he basically dominated this race down to the final 2 laps. Austin LaPlante's going to finish in 24th. Adam Chambers back in 26th. Andy Timmons will finish in 28th place. Looking further down, Prudence Littlejohn still finished off the lead lap. A tough race for her as she got caught on pit road and went a lap down. She'll finish in the 35th position, and that was it for the chasers as far as where they finished in today's race. But James McCloud may have made huge strides towards getting himself back mathematically in the hunt for the championship here today as he picks up the win in the Quaker State 155. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Lime Rock. We still got two-thirds of this exciting race weekend to come. The Mobile Cup Series and Snickers Cup Series races coming your way very soon. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the group today, become the official results, overall point standings, rookie points, and chase points heading into next week's races. We'll be heading to Indianapolis, the Yard of Brick, next week. You've been watching a production of the SCRA, offline racing at its best. They come off the final corner, and oh, one of them was John Zinedino, the leader! Zinedino, the pole sitter. There goes Madison Faber off. There goes Ralph Mason, 2nd in points off. Oh my goodness.